I'd like to call the meeting to order. This meeting is being recorded. I would ask if anyone else is recording this meeting. Joe? No? Okay. If you'd please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good evening, everyone, or one. We do have some special recognitions on a sadder note. Dr. Brunel?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So I wanted to share that Mr. Alvin Fant, age 89, passed away on September 3rd, leaving behind a sister, brother, sister-in-law, and many nieces and nephews, grandnieces and grandnephews. Alvin was a custodian in the Auburn schools, working as a lead custodian until his retirement in 1995. I would ask that you join me in a moment of silence in Alvin's memory. Thank you.
And seeing no citizens to comment, we would move right on to the student representatives report. Allie and Aaron?
So, as for NHS, the fall season is coming, so over by St. Joseph's Church, the Merity Stone School, the pumpkin patch is coming back, so usually we take advantage of the volunteer opportunities and selling pumpkins and going up there and serving our time. We also just had our first meeting as well, and I think just a company that we usually get all our shirts from, or just something we order from, I don't know, they send us random free stuff every year. Last year we got a random free t-shirt, and like t-shirts all around, and then we got a free washcloth, I don't even know. But this year we got a bunch of free water bottles, so that was exciting. We had a surprise for everybody. We are looking to expand tutoring opportunities and the quality of getting the opportunity to be tutored by someone. So with technology nowadays, we have a QR code, so we just made posters and we're gonna put them around the school so kids can scan the QR code with their iPads, and then it'll open up to a Google form. So it kind of eliminates that factor of like, okay, I have a bad grade and now I need to ask for help. So instead of, if you are a little bit uncomfortable going up to someone asking for help, you can at least fill out some information, and then, we can pair you up with somebody who specifies in your study. So that's going on. And then we just had a recent schedule change as well to the high school every day. So like last year, it was a different time frame. Now classes are extended by 2 minutes. They're longer.
They're shortened by 2 minutes.
They're shorter by 2 minutes. However, the activity period we have is a little bit longer. Gives us more opportunity to get work done, clubs. And then lunch has also been longer. They're all by like 1 minute to 2 minute frames of just things that have been longer, but in the long run it affects, it just changed. People are adjusting. It's not a bad adjustment, it's just now that we had all these times memorized before, we have to memorize. It's small, but it's good. We're working on it.
Aren't there bells, Allie, that tell you when you're...
Yeah, but you're always you're just thinking when's lunch?
Yeah, you just want to know.
You just want to know, it's good. Also, just coming up to, we usually do get a grant and then send packages for Christmas to soldiers overseas for NHS as well, so that's going to be in the making. So we usually ask for donations and send them off so that soldiers overseas who can't come home for Christmas can still, get a little something. And then we're planning our field trips. That's NHS. NHS is doing pretty well. Rockets to Rockets is meeting this week, tomorrow actually, and they're holding elections for e-board members as well. They're getting their club started, as well as Student Council is selling Mums, their annual fundraiser, to get some money for them. And Tri-M, the music and the National Honor Society, is also holding elections on Friday.
Great, thank you.
In other clubs, so marching band, this week is going to be our first public performance as the parade got canceled, got rained out a couple weeks ago. Tomorrow we're going to be in the parade at the Big E Festival over in Eastern Mass.
Ooh.
So we're going to be performing on the green, which is just like a field where we just perform our show to any watchers, and then later in the day we perform our parade tune. I think we're doing Dancing Queen this year, so we're just going to parade, do a nice parade around the Big E and perform, and then we get to enjoy the festival in between our performances. And then on Saturday we have our first competition at Bellingham High School. It's hosted by Blackstone Millville, and it's going to be really exciting for our first time to get adjudicated and see what the rewards of all the work we put in for the last summer and a couple weeks of the school year. And for Model UN, we're starting the conference season. So in a couple weeks, the club is going to St. John's, which St. John's is an introductory conference where new members and returning members, they go and they learn the process of conferences, of how, like, terminology, how you present and other stuff like that. And it's good. It's a really good experience for new members because public speaking is very difficult for many people, and having a more mellow system where everyone is also learning with you is a lot more comfortable to speak in. And then for returning members, we're beginning to prepare everything for our conference at Brown, which is in the first week of November. So that's coming up soon. We're just finalizing payments and getting everyone situated with like hotel rooms, roomings, and also getting us ready for the biggest conference we've been to, which is at Brown University. So that's really exciting.
That's great. Some great stuff happening. I have one question regarding Dancing Queen. You're playing the song, or is there a bunch of songs? You're playing pieces of it?
We're just playing that song, yeah.
Just that song?
Yeah.
The whole time you're walking around the Big E?
Yeah.
Are people dancing, or are you just playing the song?
Hopefully people dance.
People are going to want to dance, because that's one of those songs.
Yeah.
That's back in my day, yeah. That was-
It's going to be great.
And that's who's at the Big E, people from your day.
Oh, yeah. What do you mean, my day? Yeah. And that's great. Some exciting things happen, and I can see that you're excited about getting the band going again.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I know how that feels too. Allie, tell me a little bit about the tutoring program. How many people are involved in that? How many tutors?
We have a lot of tutors.
Mhm.
We have definitely at least 20, and that can go like NHS.
Oh.
That's our biggest thing is tutoring. Even though we meet every 2 weeks, we make sure that we're not just it's not just a label like, oh, I'm in NHS because I have high grades. It's like, okay, you have the high grades and you have this, I don't know, this character.
Mhm.
Right, you got to use it for the right reason. So it's like everybody's like tutoring is our big thing. So it's really everybody, and it takes advantage of it. There's no one who's just sitting there kind of like, oh, like I'm an NHS. Like everybody's like, okay, I know how to do science. I'm gonna help people who need help in science. So I'm good at everything. Well, I'm gonna help you in everything. There's people with a wide variety of things. So
Well, I think that's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
It really is.
Question through
Yep.
the chair. Is it a free program? You guys
yes,
donate
yeah.
time
So
to
we can use
That's
it for
great.
our volunteer hours too. hmm
We also branched out outside of just academics. We started the organization thing,
Yeah.
where students from NHS also can teach students how to be organized.
Yes.
So,
yeah.
like,
Good thing you brought that up.
As Mr. Kennard's example was like freshman boys who don't know how to properly organize their information, so they don't do their
Yeah.
homework because they don't know where it is. So there was also a couple people who were signed up to teach them how to, organize their binders, how to section it off, and how to plan their stuff so they actually are able to succeed.
Wow,
Wow, that's great.
that should be
Okay.
mandatory.
You're
Yeah.
home my 45-year-old husband.
That's,
I hope he's not listening.
that's great. And any other questions or comments for our student representatives?
No, that's awesome.
No, really, you've got some great things going on. Appreciate that report. It was great as always. Feel free to take off if you like. I'm sure you're very busy.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good night, everything.
Thank you. We'll see you next time.
See you next
You can
time.
do Dancing Queen on the way out if you want.
Maybe you could just hum it. I would now seek approval of the minutes of September 4th.
I'll make that motion to approve the minutes for September 4th.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, there's a vote. And we now move on to the superintendent's report.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So I'll invite Mr. Fahey to the podium to give a brief building and grounds update, but I also wanted to share with you that Mrs. Worsbicky is at Town Hall. There's a Finance Committee meeting tonight, and we were
yeah.
asked yesterday to have a representative there in case there were any questions about our warrant articles. So she will be joining us shortly.
Hi, good evening,
Good
everybody.
evening.
How are you?
It's a very tough act to follow.
Yeah, definitely.
That is amazing.
They have the nicest smiles.
They really do.
I'm going to take them up on that public speaking piece of it. So, but thank you very much. I'm here to talk to you a little bit about our operating budget, our capital improvement plan that we have, and how well it's working, and how obviously it wouldn't happen without the cooperation from everybody. So with that being said, we did a lot over the summertime. There's still a lot of more work to be done. It's a very short window in the summer, but we do the best we can. And I have to tell you, before I get into it, I got to brag about my custodial staff that we have. They are truly phenomenal. They go above and beyond. You see them day in and day out. They do everything that you can possibly imagine, and then some. And a lot of these ideas that we get, or that I get, that I present to you people, you know, I get it from these guys. Because these guys are actually out there every day, you know, telling me all these certain little things. So when I sit up here and talk about everything that we accomplish, it's a result of the hard work that we got. So at Packagug School this summer, through our CIP program, we upgraded our bathrooms, we replaced all of our plumbing fixtures, and we took advantage of our CIP program that we had, and we replaced our water coolers that we have in our building. So through the state, through the DEP, we're mandated to test for our lead and for our copper. Okay, 3 years ago there was a grant. We took advantage of it. They came out, we tested it. We found a couple fixtures that our lead was fine, but our copper was slightly elevated. So what we did then is we eliminated the two sources, and then thinking in the back of our minds, we said, all right, we're going to eventually upgrade our bathrooms, so we're going to incorporate that to our bottle filling stations that we have district-wide. So at Packagug now, each floor has a water station that you can also fill your bottles. So we're trying to obviously eliminate the plastic, kind of keep our carbon footprint down. And these have counters on it too, so they show you how many times actually it's been used. And then we're being proactive because now we're eliminating the old bubblers that we had in the classrooms. If you remember, you had the little faucets. So through the summer, we eliminated all those. That was the reason why we put the stations in each corridor. So we're very ahead of the game on that part. So through the state, our 3 years inspections are up. So we've already submitted our request. So we got 150 bottles downstairs that in October we'll be going around 6 o'clock in the morning and doing the test all over again, just to be proactive. So it's a great program that we're doing. So back to the bathrooms, a lot of support from the DEP, from the town DPW, the facility department. They came, they assisted us doing some wall prep work. We replaced the stalls, again, the fixtures. We upgraded the HVAC in the gym/cafeteria. If you notice, probably about 6 years ago, we eliminated the oil and we have natural gas. So we're able to pipe into the natural gas, install a nice HVAC piece of equipment, tied it into our building management system. That piece actually came from the MSBA project that we did with leftover funds for the roof. So we took advantage of that. If you notice, I keep saying that quite a bit, we took advantage of this. We do take advantage of anything possible to keep our costs down. So, at our intermediate school, we installed resilient flooring, similar to the 4-bow floor that we did when we built the new middle school. The 4-bow floor is a product that you don't have to wax, meaning you don't have to strip it, which reduces your chemicals that you're going to put down the Blackstone, and it's a much safer environment. So we're slowly going through that process of doing more classrooms, more areas. You see a lot of it in commercial buildings when you walk into the buildings today, this particular type of flooring. So we did that. We also, through our web control, we upgraded our lighting system at the parking lot at the intermediate school. We got some great neighbors. they'll reach out to us and let us know, hey, the lights are on. And I'd go to Dr. Manella and say, no way, it's impossible, you just set the clock. We have mechanical failure from time to time. So what we did was we were able to tie this into our building management system that we actually had when we built our high school in 2006. So it's a much easier software. It solves our problems, and hopefully Dr. Burnett won't be getting these phone calls anymore. So we did that also. Again, with the assistance of the DPW facility department, we made a special needs room where the old music room was. So they came in, built us a wall, gave us some access windows. It's a great learning environment for our students. It's right next to the bathrooms. It's a perfect spot. So, going up the street to Bryn Mawr, what we did this year at Bryn Mawr is we installed ERU units. Probably about, I want to say 8 or maybe even 10 years ago, we installed these big AV units in all of our schools, including Bryn Mawr, but we never did the downstairs basement. Right? Now don't forget I say the word basement because originally that's what it was at Bryn Mawr, as a basement. But now it's actually, it's a learning environment. So we need to obviously keep the air up to code. So we installed 2 of these for better air circulation. We also did a 4x4 in one of the kindergarten classrooms up on the first floor as like a test. And they're beautiful floors. And it serves twofold, because not only do you get a new floor, but it's a way for us to follow the AHERN, which is our asbestos abatement plan, because we're encapsulating the old 9x9 tiles. Similar to like what you see right here. Underneath here, it's a form of capitalization. So by putting these carpet squares down, we're actually protecting, we're keeping the asbestos where it needs to be. So there's no wear and tear. At our middle school, again, what we do every year, lately what we've been doing is we've been having group cleaning, so we bring all the custodians together. And this year, we're fortunate to let the high school rest. So we had the summer school program, along with the recreation program, leave the high school and go to the middle school. So all the custodians, as soon as school got out, went over there, did gang cleaning, got it where it needed to be. Don't forget that whole building is 4x4 floors, so it's less maintenance. Kind of a bad word, not less maintenance, but it's easy to keep up. So we're able to get that building up and ready before summer school even started, giving our high school a chance to rest, because our high school doesn't stop. It's, what is it, Motel Out? It just does not stop. And it was certainly well noticed, too, when school started, because the high school, there was teachers going up and saying, wow, our classrooms got painted. This got done, that got done. We're able to actually spend the time and do the projects, what need to get done, rather than getting tapped on the shoulder, hey, can you go do this, can you do that? So, and then we're also at the high school, what we did through our capital program is we replaced our football field. And as you can see, it came out really nice. And it's still work in progress. We're still working on the punch list, but for the most part, it's done. And we're a little bit late. It was about a week behind, but I think in the end, it was well worth it. So those are the projects that we did. We still have projects that were ongoing, and I wish Cecilia was here so I can thank her for all the hard work that she's done on the solar, and Dr. Burnell. It's been certainly a long road. Last week I actually met with the company at the middle school doing an inspection on the roof. So we're close, guys. We're very close. So hopefully our inspection at the high school will happen, and then these panels will be up, saving us some money in no time. We also have a couple other lighting projects going on that actually were back ordered in the late summer through National Grid. Again, we take advantage of any sort of rebate we can, and through no cost of us, we're replacing all our lights in our elementary schools in the gymnasium. So they'll be similar to the high school, where they'll be on They'll be on timers, motion sensors. So as you walk in, they'll come on, stay on for 20 minutes if nobody's in the room. If not, they'll dim down. So it's a great way for us to save energy, plus replace some older equipment that we have. Ongoing, we have some playground upgrading that we're doing. That's, again, that was back-ordered as well. So we'll be doing that, hopefully Columbus Day, but that's in the queue. We have a camera grant through Dr. Brunel. She actually, and I know she does not like to take credit for herself, but she put together a grant from Safe Schools, and we were awarded quite a bit of money. I think it was $48,000 for additional cameras. So what we're doing there, so our cameras, because you're on the state bid list, because of prevailing wage, our camera count actually shrinks because of labor. So what we're going to do is similar to what we did when the cameras were first installed is again, our custodial staff will be running the wires ourselves. That way they're keeping the costs down. That way there we were able to buy more cameras instead of keeping the economy going on the camera side. So we'll certainly benefit from that.
And this is for security?
This is for security.
Inside, outside, everywhere?
Correct, both. Don't want to tell you where they're all going.
No, I don't want to know.
No, but to answer your question, yes, inside and outside. And this will actually go right to the police station as well.
Oh, good.
So that way they'll be able to monitor it right in their dispatch.
Excellent.
So it's a great resource to have, and it's great that we're able to add these additional cameras to it. And also we're upgrading the card access system at the high school. We're doing that now. So there's a lot to be done. There's a lot that we do, and we couldn't do it without your support. And
Thank you.
Thank you.
Great job that you guys do.
Yeah.
Any questions or comments, Mr. Fahey?
I have a question. Does Bryn Mawr have the water coolers?
yes, they do.
Oh, they do? Okay,
Yep.
so all our schools have them?
All our schools have them. Even Packagug had it. They had it in the cafeteria.
Oh, okay.
So there's only one, because originally we made sure that each school got one. But Packagug, as you know, you got 3 different levels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, so it's hard to have a kindergarten go all the way down, go down to the gym every time for water. So that's why it was important to put one on each floor.
Great.
So what
that's-
is the water source then? Is it using the water that was currently there?
It's
That-
using the water, it's using the water, especially in older schools, they had the old, and we don't actually use those. Those are discontinued, I mean, probably even when I went to the schools. They were built into the walls. So those were obsolete even back then. So like at Packagug, you had, in each classroom, you had the sink, and then next to the sink, you had we used to have it here,
Yep.
a little hand faucet for your water. So the concern is because that these pipes are as old as that they are, is that back then they used lead-based solder, which obviously raises the lead level. And then there's also the flushing part of it, where, you know, if you have water that's kind of stagnant, that's sitting in the lines forever, that's another source. So we thought by changing those out,
Yeah, okay, so I remember those as a kid, and that first sip was absolutely disgusting. But, so do the water coolers like purify the water?
there's filters on it.
Oh, there are, okay.
There's filters
All right,
on it.
So that's what I was getting at.
Now,
didn't
I don't
know
want,
if
I
we
don't
could
want to
just-
alarm people. I mean, the water that we have in Auburn is there's nothing wrong with the water in Auburn. It's hard, you know. I think that's why all the plumbers want to move to Auburn, because there's so much business. But
It's
but-
out in our pipes.
it is. But I'll tell you,
Water.
we have a great relationship with the Auburn Water Department. Ken Smith is phenomenal, because what we do, and we've always done this, is we go to each school, and they'll give me water samples, bottles. We'll do first draw, and then Ken will take them to the lab and test them. We do that at each school. We take turns on which school that we do. So we get the support from Ken Smith for Auburn Water. We got the state coming in with the lead and copper testing it. So we're being tested from all angles, which is a great thing. But the more you run the water, the better off it is.
Yeah.
So
And it's keeping the kids' mouths off those water
Yes.
couplers.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Always.
Thank you, Joe.
You're
Great
welcome.
job.
Yeah.
They never hurt us as kids.
There's a lot of things that didn't hurt us.
Hoses, yeah. Anything else for Mr. Fahey?
One more question. Does Packagug still gets water from Worcester?
It does.
It used to,
It still does.
yeah,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah, that side of town actually does.
yeah.
I think it's called Elm Hill,
Yeah,
yeah, which Auburn Water has, I believe Auburn Water has taken over that.
yeah.
But-
I remember Packagug didn't have school one day because the water from Worcester had a problem, and they had to close the school, and everyone at Packagug was so happy.
I bet.
Because we had a day off we didn't have to make up.
Wow.
Because of the Worcester water that came in.
Thank you for that report,
Yeah,
Joe, and
thank
thanks
you.
for all that you do. Pass that thanks along to the custodians
Okay.
and everyone on your staff. Appreciate it.
And thank you, Dr. Burnell, for getting that grant.
Well, yes,
Yeah.
but through the chair, I do want to reiterate, there is a tremendous team in place, but it is led by Mr. Fahey, who goes above and beyond day in
Yeah.
and day out, truly, truly. So we thank him. Yes, I know.
Yep, absolutely.
Both of you just sound exactly the same. It's not me, it's
No,
everyone else.
it's you, it's you. That's my line, that's not me, it's you. You're welcome to stay with us, Mr. Fahey, that's up to you. I would, but. All right, have a nice day. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, moving on.
So we've included in your packet, we've just started FY20, but we are already in the midst of FY21 budgeting. So over the next several meetings, if you have priorities that you want us to consider, I would share with you, we noted what we had as priorities this year, social and emotional, that's littered throughout. The strategic plan implementation, obviously safety, student achievement, class size, technology, textbooks and such, and PD. But any others that you have, we would certainly welcome them. We'll actually start budget meetings with individual leadership team members that first full week in October. So, and they are very excited to be getting it started. So quickly.
Chair, one
Yeah,
comment. I
sure.
would say class size is going to be a huge thing on the
Okay.
horizon, especially with the addition of
Mhm.
residences
Mhm.
on the Hill, so.
Absolutely, thank you.
Through the chair, also, I'm not sure about additional iPads in the elementary schools, just to reduce infection of
Okay.
gross little fingers.
Yeah.
Perfect, thank you, everybody.
And I have one question. I don't know if it fits in here or not. I happened to be talking with a very happy sixth grade student at our middle school, except she had one complaint, and she said, we never get to go outside and have any kind of recess. And I'm like, what?
Oh, you used to give us recess.
I certainly did. We believed in fresh air.
Yeah.
And it was one of those nice days. And she said, and it's so nice today. And we couldn't go out. How come? What's happened? She said, well, we got ice cream machines. And I'm thinking, exercise is more important than ice cream machines.
Sure.
So it is true what she was saying then.
So through the chair, yes, in fact, the middle school has not had a scheduled recess period for many, many years.
Since I left.
Yeah, it may be. In fact, I don't know that if I recall, I'd have to think back, if my first year, 12 years ago, if they had it. I don't think they did.
Yeah,
But I
we
will
did.
certainly
Because I
pass-
was here 10 years ago and we did.
Okay,
'Cause
okay.
We had it right through 2010 for sure.
Okay, okay.
Okay?
But I can certainly mention it to Mr. Desto. I will say the PE classes, when they can, use the outside
Yeah.
facilities and such, but
Through the
the
chair, they don't
schedule.
have PE all year now anymore, right?
they don't. It's varied by trimester.
Okay.
I
So they get
curriculum,
one per, or two?
I believe it's 2, and it varies. It depends what other unified arts classes they are taking, so it's on a
Okay.
rotating basis.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
It just seems like a little outside exercise does everybody good.
Well,
Or
my
it's a
daughter,
walk.
She's
or-
always complaining about having to run around the building, so
Yeah.
I know that she's getting
That's her
that.
exercise?
Yeah.
They make her run outside the building, or?
Yeah, PE, they have
Oh,
to
PE,
go outside,
yeah,
yeah. So they're out there every day, but I also know some of the classes are using the courtyard.
They do.
You know,
They do.
they have Wi-Fi out there too, so
Yeah.
the kids are.
But I can say in
able to
sixth
do
grade, we loved getting out there, but I don't think the other team did it,
No, they didn't.
right?
So
Yeah,
we
it was
offered
just
to
your
take
team.
their kids, with our kids, if one of them would come, because we didn't want to take another 100 kids we didn't know,
Yeah.
and they wouldn't come.
It was a good
Yeah, it
For
was.
social emotional. Mhm.
It really, for social emotional learning, it was a good chance. And it was a good chance for us to see how the kids connected in their free time and who maybe had some issues.
Well, Meg turned out great, so
It's all because
Yeah.
of Mrs. Holloway's recess.
Well, we just believed adults like to take a coffee break. Why can't a child have a little bit of,
Agreed.
even if it was only 15 minutes or something?
Yeah.
I know a lot of teachers allow them to get up and walk around, and then they have the hike in between classes, so.
Yeah,
I
but it's
know.
not the same as just being free for 15 minutes,
Right.
not being in a structured, someone's watching, you know.
Through the chair, I will definitely share that, for sure.
I think other schools are still doing recess in places in their middle schools. I'm hearing from some of my sources anyhow.
Well, you'll have to bring back some data for us.
No, I
All right.
So I had the opportunity, as I've done, I think for each year I've been fortunate to be in this position. The Chamber of Commerce Golf Tournament took place September 9th. This year was at Blackstone National Country Club, which was really magnificent. So I went to thank the golfers, as I always do. This is their 25th tournament.
Wow.
And they have donated to the schools well over $300,000 between grants for teachers and scholarships for students. So really tremendous effort. And they had a picture-perfect day.
Great.
The Congressional Youth Cabinet, so you may remember last year Congressman McGovern reached out to area schools seeking 2 high school representatives. And I'm happy to report that Ally Schoenfeld is one of the representatives, and Griffin Hanfield. Those are the recommendation of Mr. Bonaccio and Mr. Kennard. So we have sent them letters of invitation. As soon as we hear back from them that they've accepted those, we'll let Congressman McGovern's office know, and they're anticipating having some meetings throughout the year really to get feedback from the young students. So it's a great opportunity.
She'll be great.
It's gonna be
Yeah.
great.
She will.
That's her wheelhouse right there.
Yeah.
For sure. The FY 2025 CIP, Mr. Fahey and Mrs. Worsbicky are working on that. We were notified by Town Hall that they need those documents by October 4th, so they'll come to you at the October 2nd school committee meeting for your review.
All right. We'll now move on to unfinished business.
So as I shared with you last year, through the Pappas Foundation, every student in the Auburn Public Schools for the current year and the 2 upcoming will get to go for free to a Hanover performance. So now it's Dr. Chamberlain and I have met with Megan Montaner from Hanover Insurance, in working with the principals. This shows the different performances that students will be attending. So one of the caveats of this was that there be no transportation cost for this. So Dr. Chamberlain had a great idea, went to the elementary PTO, who has a tremendous amount in their coffers. And the idea being that over the years, as they've accumulated those monies, there actually are families, likely who are current middle school students and even older, who have contributed in some way. So after some discussion, they are paying the full $12,300 cost to send every student there.
Oh, wow.
With the understanding that in the upcoming 2 years, they're going to work with other parent organizations in Auburn to come up with a district-wide fundraiser to support that, which is wonderful. So it won't cost any family a penny in these regards. And I also want to thank Ron Ernenwine, who owns AA Transportation. They're providing buses at $300 per bus, which is a pretty substantial reduction. So it was a great team effort, and we're excited. We'll let you know when the groups start attending. But the principals, everyone's just beyond thrilled at the incredible generosity and the opportunity for kids.
That's awesome.
And I think a live theater performance is a good education for everyone.
Truly.
To at least see it once.
Right.
And a lot of kids don't have that luxury.
Yeah.
No, they
Yeah.
don't, because we used to
Yeah.
take the 6th grade,
Yeah.
and that was probably the only time.
No, absolutely. The next item is CPR AED. We do have some donations that have come in. This actually finishes it. We've actually ordered and have in our possession 9 AEDs. Mr. Fahey is working with the district's electrician, Mr. Toscano, in getting those up. We had a conference call with Mr. Coyle yesterday. We have a couple more to put in, but they're going to be up and running very soon. And then I'll be reaching back out to Darcy Cook from Safety Trainers to get some of those free training. So we're very excited.
Awesome.
But it is my recommendation that we approve with gratitude the above-named donations.
I would entertain that motion.
Make a motion to accept with gratitude the above-mentioned donations to the AED initiative.
And second,
Any comments, questions?
I just think we're so lucky that people are doing this for us.
We are, we've got a great,
Tremendous.
great business community,
Yep.
great partnership with them.
Truly.
All in favor?
All right.
Aye, it is a vote. We now move on to new business.
So as you know, over the past couple of years, through what we termed the Start the Conversation team, we've brought some various programming, whether it was Angst or Chris Herron, to the school district. This past spring, we had the opportunity, a small group of us, to view a documentary that's being provided by DA Early's office free of charge. They've actually secured, the rights. So this is a film, a tragic documentary, quite honestly, of a young man who returns from college and unintentionally mixed, or maybe unknowingly mixed prescription medication with alcohol, and he tragically died. So his family, trying to make some good of an absolute tragic event, had this documentary created, and his friends who were there that evening when it happened speak and really largely play the leading roles in this. So we are going to be hosting this on October 7th. We'll soon begin advertising it. It's going to be shown to the high school students. We've actually decided on October 8th, but it will be open to the parents of middle school and high school students. So we're hoping that many people go. There'll be the viewing, which is about 35 minutes or so, and then there'll be a panel discussion that will include representatives from the police department, DA's office, a medical professional as well, to try and, excuse me, I must have allergies, to answer the questions that parents may have. And then for the students, what they're going to do is, after they view it, they'll have breakout discussions in advisory back in their class to discuss the impact of it. But I noticed now that I did not provide the trailer to you, so I will send that to you tomorrow. And we're actually going to include the link to the website that has a trailer for parents to watch it, because I think it is something that everyone should see, and then have a discussion with their children about. So.
Definitely. Any opportunity?
Just one comment. All of these are great. Every initiative, it seems like you go above and beyond to try and get it out there to the parents, but so many people say they didn't know or they didn't hear about it. Is there something we can do to make it even more known than we're already trying to do?
So we are, we've talked with Mr. Desto and Mr. Hanfield and Ms. Donahue and Mr. Carlson, so they're going to be sending home notices to families directly. We'll be posting it on Facebook and Twitter. They'll be announcing it at both of the schools to really try and get, families to come. So we'll even do, in addition to email notifications, we'll do a one-call voice message,
Oh, that's
really
good.
imploring parents to come, because I think it's a worthwhile, even if only one parent from each household can attend, I think it's a really worthwhile documentary to see. It was incredibly
If it saves one
moving.
life, it's
That's
certainly worth it.
exactly what the way we look at it is, if we can save.
And the Chris
Like-
Heron thing was amazing and moving, and to
mhm.
see hardly anyone there,
I
they
know.
just missed out
I
on such
did.
a great
Yeah,
opportunity.
I agree.
So I know sports and everything, and there's every
Yeah.
excuse under the
Mhm,
sun, but,
mhm.
yeah, we gotta push this
Yeah,
more.
yeah.
I agree.
Agreed. So the fall special town meeting, as you know, will be October 15th. So what I would ask is that typically we have a meeting prior to the meeting, so at 6:30, which is part of the motion for you to make. But I also would ask you to consider, I'd spoken to the chair about this, we have a regularly scheduled meeting the very next night on the 16th. So where we're going to have a meeting, assuming you agree to it, on the 15th prior to fall special town meeting, my recommendation is that we cancel the meeting on the 16th and instead hold it on October 30th. That will have us meeting every 2 weeks throughout June, and then into throughout October, and then into November. I don't know where that came from. So that would be my recommendation. Host it on 6:30 on the 15th, cancel the 16th, and instead hold a meeting on October 30th.
I would entertain that motion.
I'll make a motion to schedule a school committee meeting for 6:30 on the 15th, cancel the 16th, and reschedule the meeting for October 30th.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion?
Sounds good.
Elaine, could you just send out a revised calendar? That'd be great.
We're not
Thank
going
you.
trick-or-treating now on the 30th or anything.
Is it the 30th this year?
31st. No, it's the 31st. Oh, it's usually the 31st.
Yeah, I'm just
Yeah.
teasing.
Okay.
This would be a great out, though.
We can make it 31st. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, it is a vote.
And then listed there are the upcoming events. Many curriculum nights continue to take place, but I do want to draw your attention to the Auburn High School Rocket Band, the Micah Show. So this is going to be the first year they're actually hosting for other districts to come, and there will be judges who will judge their performances and give the students hints and pointers on how they can improve. So the time, though, has changed
Oh.
due to the EEE curfew, so it's going to instead be from 1 to 4. I had posted it in the district newsletter. I believe the cost is $6 for adults to go and either $2 or $4 for students and seniors, but it promises to be a great event, so we're hoping for good weather, and I know the band students and the directors and fine arts people are really excited about it, so.
So it's still on Saturday, the 28th, but the time has changed
Correct.
from 1 to 4.
1 to 4, exactly.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Moving on to business and financial.
So included in your packet is a year-to-date budget report as of September 11th. We remain in very good shape. Payroll is all getting put in, and you'll see in the next, we have a number of transfers that we are recommending, this to really address contractual obligations, which happen every year at this time.
Okay.
And I would need a motion on the transfers.
I would entertain that motion.
I'll make a motion to approve the transfer between the series as requested by Dr. Bernal.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, it is a vote.
The revolving account update Mrs. Worsbicky provides on a quarterly basis for you. There are no concerns noted. As you can see, salary encumbrances have been made, and we continue to monitor these and utilize them as noted, as offsets in our budget.
I'd entertain that motion.
I'll make a motion to accept the current listing of revolving accounts as presented by Dr. Brunel and the business manager.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, it is a vote.
Next item in your packet, you have student activity account audits that happened just, this is actually through June 30th of 2018. I'm happy to report, although there were some minor findings noted in here, Mrs. Worsbicky and I met with Mr. Kazanovich, and we were pleased with what turned out from these. There were some carry-forward issues from years ago. We had not had an audit done in the timeline, but I do want to point out and give kudos to Mrs. Worsbicky. She and Mrs. Moran had put together a student activities procedures manual that actually the auditor who came in, Mr. Scanlon, asked for a copy of it to share with other districts. So
Wow.
it really procedurally is in a good place. There were some paperwork issues that had to be corrected. Some swipes hadn't been done, but the cash balances were where they needed to be in match with Mr. Casanova. So we're in good shape and getting even better, I would say. Mrs. Worsbicky has provided a brief update regarding busing. I'm so pleased to share. She's given me a report about numbers of students on buses, timing of buses. Mrs. Zotner has taken over the end of the day busing issues and hearing from buses as they come in. And we are in the best shape, dare I say, than we have been in many years.
Okay.
So it's often by 4 o'clock, the very last bus is back in the yard and has closed out, which is great. So it used to be 4:10, 4:12 sometimes, but every once in a while on a Friday, it seems it's late, but that's just how those Fridays go sometimes.
Not
But
as late
other
as a
than that-
certain city near us that the kids got home at 8 o'clock.
I know. That was-
Really?
Oh, wow, I didn't know.
Yeah, it was,
that was-
Elaine,
it was one
congratulations on
special
that.
ed bus. 8
She's
o'clock
very
at night.
excited.
I bet she is.
Yeah.
No, honestly, through the
That's
chair, I
hard.
have not heard one busing complaint.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's wonderful.
It's like a
Awesome.
well-oiled machine, knock on wood.
That's great, yeah.
But it's gone
Yeah.
very well so far.
Wonderful. We'll let Mrs. Worsbicky and Mrs. Zotner know too.
Thank you. We now move on to personnel.
So the athletic trainer, we've had an athletic trainer in place for a number of years, and I don't know how we missed bringing this forward to you, but with us now having a full-time one on staff, Marcus Backlund, a graduate of Auburn High School. We have a number of graduates who have come back to join our team, which is
Yeah.
wonderful. So this job description was run through both our athletic director, Mr. Davis, and Mr. Hanfield, and it is my recommendation that you approve it as written.
I would entertain that motion.
Make a motion to approve the job description for athletic trainer as presented.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, there's a vote. And we move on to policies.
So noted in your packet, there are 6 policies. As you can see, several of them have very little or no red noted in them indicating any changes, and others are very minor. So it is my recommendation that you approve the amended policies as presented.
I would entertain that motion.
I'll make a motion to approve the above-named policies as presented.
Do I have a second? Any discussion?
No, it's good.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, there's a vote. And we do need an executive session.
We do. So where you recessed the executive session, I think what if you simply recess out of open session, because we've already done a roll call vote, we can just simply go back in once you close out.
So I can make a motion to recess out of our regular session and to go back into executive session.
Yes.
Yes. Is there a second?
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, there's a vote. Good night, everyone.